Hello, my yarn smithing lovelies. It's really nice to be back with you again. If you've not seen me before, I'm Simon Henry, and this is where we gather to talk all things yarn and knitting and crochet and all that stuff. If you have seen me before, then welcome back. It's really lovely to have you back with us. The eagle-eyed amongst you will probably notice that I have done as promised, and I've tidied up these shelves behind, which also means I've got no idea where anything is. There was 2 massive bags of stuff that I don't think I'll ever do anything with, so they've been donated to a local craft club. And what's left up here are things that I'm going to do projects with and share those with you later on. Now, when I was tidying up, as I thought, there were quite a few things that I'd forgotten that I'd got. There were, I think, 4 things from Temu that I was going to do reviews on, and it completely slipped my mind and they kind of got lost under all the stuff back there. So I've found those out, and today I'm going to review those 4 yarns. I'll see you in a minute. So the first of the yarns that I found was this one. I do remember way back somebody asked me if I would buy some alpaca from there and do a review. So I went through quite a lot of the different ones on there and found the one that I felt was probably the best buy. This one is 20% alpaca, 10% wool, 20% nylon, and 50% acrylic. Alpaca's very expensive, so you know, you're not going to get from places like there, you're not going to get all alpaca, and to be honest, you wouldn't want to use all alpaca. This feels lovely. I was really surprised when it came. I'm going to put the details on the screen now so you can find it. Everybody in different countries, Temu use different sites for different countries. There's no point me giving you because a lot of people have asked, would I give them the link to this particular one? If they don't do that on your particular site, you won't get it. So have a look for this label. I'll put it on the screen. There it is. It comes in some nice colours. The variegation of it is really lovely. It feels ever so soft. Because of the amount of acrylic in it, it's actually very, very strong as well. Normally, if you buy alpaca fibre or alpaca and wool mix, it actually breaks apart quite easily. So this would go through a chunky knitting machine. It's perhaps a little bit thicker than what we call in the UK DK. It's probably Aran weight. I would probably knit this on maybe 5mm needles, probably 4.5, 5mm needles. And it came in a pack of 6 balls for £11.09. For what it is, it's extremely good value. I was very pleased when it came. It smells right. I did the burn test. There's definitely some natural fibre in there. Who knows what it is? But to be honest, when I find things like this, I don't really care. People say, oh, it's not what it says it is on the label. If it knits up lovely and the price is good, yeah. I mean, I don't sell it. I've said this before. With my couture end of the business, my bespoke end of the business, I buy the yarn from a manufacturer that I know. I like to use British wherever possible. If I'm using natural fibres, I can do that. If I want to mix a little bit of something else in it, we may have to go somewhere else for it. But wherever possible, I buy British for the bespoke. You know, I even buy cashmere from Scotland. There's a supplier up there that does really beautiful cashmere. However, it's really expensive. You know, this is less than £2 a ball. So have a go, because I've just breathed it in. You'll see me do this quite often. I actually smell yarn. When you've been in the industry as long as I have, you get quite sensitive to the smells of different yarns. And what I'll say with this, it smells right. It smells correct. It should smell a bit like wet dog alpaca. That's nice. Yeah, darling, I've knit you a jumper to make you smell like wet dog. Anyway, I recommend this. Buy it. I don't know why it got stuck under a pile and I didn't knit it, because I'm going to definitely do something with that quite shortly. So let's have a look. The next one I found in there, I'm going to have a look on the screen. I'm going to pop it up for you now. Is this one, yak wool. Now, people who don't know in the industry, yak fibre is one of the most luxurious, the best yarn you can buy. It's naturally the fibre is hollow. I might do a video separately on yak wool and tell you where it comes from and everything. It's actually combed from the front part of the chest here during molting season. And for those who are going to say, oh, they skin the yaks alive and they do all kinds of stuff, no, they don't. They look after their animals really well, because the better they are looked after and the happier the beast, the finer the combed fibres are they get during molting season. A happy yak produces happy yarn. So anyway, this is because of its rarity, yak. I think one yak per season produces only a pound of fibre, I think. So because of its rarity, there's not an awful lot of yak in there. I think there's 25% yak, and the rest is a mixture of wool and synthetic fibres. However, it's beautiful. It feels gorgeous. It's really bouncy, and that's because of the yak fibre in there being hollow. It puts a nice amount of spring in it. It's very warm because, again, the fibre is hollow. Then it keeps all the heat in. It smells correct. The burn test, there's definitely natural fibres in there, but like I said before, you know, that only tells us there's natural fibre. It doesn't say what it is. Having worked with yak in the high-end couture part of my work, all I can say is it feels correct. It feels okay. This is 400 grams, so it's 4 100-gram balls for £10.34. So, you know, like £2.50 a ball. It's kind of the same as buying acrylic from one of the big companies, and it's probably as chunky, I would say. So I'd do this on, you know, 5.5, 6mm needles or hook, and I'll definitely do something with it. I'll have to order a bit more to add to the stash. Who cares? So look for the label, look for this particular one. Like I've said, you know, a good range of colours, feels beautiful. I knitted a little bit up, which I've actually lost. No idea where it's gone. It's probably gone in a bag with all that stuff that I threw away. Knits beautifully. It washed really well. So highly recommend. Go and have a little look at that. So then I remember, going back quite a while, there was one of the people who left a comment said that, you know, I'm doing all these reviews, but I don't do anything for machine knitters. So I found some stuff, and I'd even actually knitted it a bit, so I don't know why I didn't do the review, that I wound off on a wool winder and put it through the knitting machine just to have a look and see what happened. The first of which was, I'm going to pop it on the screen for you now, this one, which is 100% bamboo. The feel of it, the smell, the burn test, I've got no reason to doubt that it is what it says it is on the label. It comes in 50 gram balls, and we get 10 balls for £11. You know, £1 10p a ball. It feels lovely. The range of colours, there's a big range of colours there, I notice. One or two of the colours are a little bit more expensive. One or two of the colours are slightly cheaper for some reason or other. So I wound some off onto a yarn winder and put it through the knitting machine, and it came out beautifully. It's soft, it's bouncy. Stitch definition, being bamboo, is lovely. There were no joins in the yarn. People who machine knit know how annoying that is. If we wind in from a ball and there's joins, as that goes through the knitting machine, that will either, you know, break the whole thing up, or the yarn will break, or you'll get a very tight row in your knitting and have to undo it. There was none of that in this at all. Obviously, only being 50 grams of ball, you're going to have to join somewhere, but what I do is, I'm coming towards the end of the ball, I pull the remaining yarn through the tension winder and always join at the beginning of a row. I never let it join in the middle of a row. So that 100% bamboo, I've got no reason to doubt that that is what it says it is. To me, it feels correct, and like I say, for the price, you know, give it a go. It would hand knit very well as well. Bamboo makes beautiful socks because of the wicking of bamboo. Bamboo will wick away perspiration, so it's very, very nice for making socks out of. If I was going to do socks out of this, I would probably add a little bit. I'd mix some synthetic in there, maybe a fine nylon thread or something, especially on the heel and the toe. I often do that. I'll if I'm knitting either machine or hand knitting socks, I will often mix into the heel part and the toe part just some very fine nylon thread, which will just strengthen those little areas. Again, I might do a video on those later. So 100% bamboo, no reason to doubt that it is what it says. The price is good, goes through the machine beautifully. It would hand knit and it would crochet beautifully. I recommend, give it a go. And number 4, the final one, was to me a real surprise. And I've got no idea where the picture is. There it is. Give me a minute. And this is, it says it's 100% mulberry silk. I don't actually think it is 100%. The feel of it and the burn test suggests to me there might be a very small amount of synthetic in there, which often they do just to strengthen everything up. If it's a thing that's manufactured for industry, often these things have to go through machines at incredibly high speed, and they'll add a little bit of something else for all kinds of reasons, because some of it moves the heat away. There's all kinds of reasons. I won't go into that. However, when I put this through the machine, it is absolutely beautiful. I really wish that you could feel this. Please excuse my fingernails, by the way. Everybody that knows me knows I've got a hairdressing salon, and quite often I'll take somebody's tint off at the bowl without wearing gloves, so it stains my fingernails. This part here I used it double. This part here I used it single. They both feel gorgeous. It comes on cones like this. You get 3 cones for £14.53. There's probably enough on here to do if you use 2 together, to do at least a short sleeve top. It feels beautiful. It smells right. With pure silk, and especially mulberry fed or oak fed, it does have a particular smell about it. So again, people who know think, oh yeah, okay, that's got some of that in it. With silk with a burn test, it is sometimes difficult to tell what that is with a burn test. Wool will shrink away from the flame a little bit, almost like a synthetic fibre does. However, again, for the money, for the colours, everything about it, and for how it knits and glides through the machine, I mean, it really is wonderful. This probably would be quite difficult to hand knit because of its slippiness, its silkiness and shine. You'd probably have to use either birch or bamboo needles to hold on to the yarn. If you use metal needles, it would slide off and you'd be losing stitches all over the place. You could maybe try 3 ends together, and that should knit, getting close to double knit. But for machine knitters, highly recommend. I'm going to do 1 or 2 things in this. I wish I could be 100% sure what it is, because I would use this at couture end, because it really feels gorgeous. So that was that. That was yarn I discovered that I'd completely forgotten that I'd got. The silk, I'm going to order some more. I might do fairly big order on that. The yak, I think I might order a bit more of that. We'll see. I'll let you know and see what we do. So that was that. If you pop over to the Patreon site, I'll put the thing up there, and have a little look over there and see what's going on. We're building up a lovely community of yarn smiths over there. They're lovely. We're all having chats with each other. That was definitely a piece of something floated up there. Did you see that? We've not been haunted down here for ages. It's probably because I've cleaned up and there's bits of fibre floating about. So say pop over to Patreon, have a little look. That if you want to join as a member, then that works out at less than a pound a week. It's about £5 a calendar month, plus minus tax. It depends what country you're in. But over there, all of the patterns that I do are included in your membership. But you can also go over there and join as a free member, and you can buy the patterns individually in that case if you want to. There's crochet alongs, knit alongs, all kinds of stuff going on. Pop over and have a little look and see. So in the meantime, like and subscribe, because that really does help out the channel. And don't know what I'm going to do next. I might do another one on hate, because we've had a bit more hate coming in. Keep it coming, love. Honestly, I don't care. So in the meantime, happy knitting and crocheting and yarn smithing and all that kind of stuff. Very much love as always. And I'm going to see you really soon. Bye bye.